Alright, this is natural crotch rigging, the second part. We'll just apply the discussions we had earlier on to a couple of limbs. First thing is we're just going to take a couple of limbs off here, and so we've got an ideal crotch here to take our friction, and there's another ideal crotch up here to tie off onto. So let's consider where our bloke on the ground is. So we want our line to come from his side of the job over the spot where we're going to take the friction, and we take our turn towards the trunk. So in other words, it's underneath the rope that doesn't have the load on it. So when our rope is loaded up, the loaded side will be on the bottom of the coils. We look at the branch and decide how much friction we want. In this case, one's plenty, but if I wanted more, I'd simply take an additional turn around there. As you can see there now, I've got a full turn around the tree and an extra one. Then I would tie it off with a clove hitch, and you get it nice and tight and face the knot in the direction it's going to be loaded. If you put it on the side or on the top, it's going to want to turn the knot or turn the limb as it's going through the air. With a green limb, 1 crown's enough, and we leave enough to scarf, so you leave a bit of a gap in there so you can run a scarf in it. So if you just hold that gently there, Shane. If the person on the ground pulls too hard, he can actually pull this through the, and obviously when we're cutting and chainsaws going, we don't want that rope to be coming near the chain. So if they've got a bit of discipline, they can just hold it there gently and it won't be a problem. When you get up very high in the trees and the ropes are large, if we've got 150 feet of 20 mil hanging below us, that naturally wants to pull the friction around the tree as well. So sometimes you have to just let it sit against your foot so it can't take off. So Shane's got that easily, as it turns out. What we can do though, once we've got a cut end and our coil is on the top of the pile, if we feel it's a bit heavy, we can simply add friction and put an extra turn on. And the same goes if you want to take friction off. To take friction off, we don't want to just lift the coil up or lift the end of the rope up like that, because it could just take the friction off very quickly. So what we want to do is do it under control. I generally hold all the friction on, take a turn off, and then Shane, give it a pull and hold it. So that way he takes it off under control. And you can do that again if you think it's too light. Okay mate, lower him down. Okay, you can see that it didn't want to go. I can make it start from here if I want to, or I can take an additional turn off. Give that another pull and hold it. Okay, now he should be able to lower it. Once it gets near the ground, my rope, you can guide it on the ground, Shane. And that way we save an extra person and gives the climber something to do. Done. So in this case, to do the next limb, we can actually reuse the old stub. It's actually easier for me to get to. So it's not the same branch that we're lowering, but it's close. There's a problem that comes from this, and that is that as the load of the branch comes onto the rope, we've got a great lever for the length of the branch to add a lot of load onto the rope. So our choice is to make sure we've got enough length for it to fold naturally before it takes up, or we can have the rope up out of the way of our saw and tell the ground person to let it down a little bit, And that way then he'll extend the rope as it goes and it'll take the strain gradually rather than have this levering action. And once that happens, it can fire back to you, or just loading the rope up is a real issue. Right, mate, just give a little bit as it goes, about a foot or two. Perfect. Lower him down, mate. My rope.